Hey, what's up guys, Eustass Boosters here and welcome back to another One Piece video. So today we're doing another OP10 leader, decklist and gameplay video. Or another one, is this the first one? Last week I did Lucci, so yeah, I think this is the first one actually of the OP10 leaders I'm trying. And by popular demand we are going to do a yellow kit, because apparently that's what people wanted to see the most. Which I get because this deck is fairly interesting. Honestly, it's like the first time I'm interested in a yellow deck again since a pretty long time. So first we have my deck list here. I do already have some adjustments because I'm like showing you guys the deck list after playing the games I'm going to be showing you, which I will talk about as well. And then after that I'm going to show you 3 games. One against like what I think is a top meta deck, then against another like pretty good deck, but I would say a tier 2 deck, and then I guess another tier 2 deck, but not as good. But it is a funny one because that's gonna be Enel. We're gonna be playing against Bonney, Purple, Luffy, and Enel. And I really wanted to showcase the Enel game just because I think it's funny, right? Like the yellow leader of yesterday against the yellow leader of today. Let's just go into the deck list real quick. So I'm playing double Shirahoshi here, which is nice because like when she's KO'd, you get a life. Right, so your opponent kind of has to play through it. However, you could definitely make the case that you would prefer to play Apu here for the simple reason that it is searchable and also it is a 1 cost. And you will almost always have like a supernova on the field, right? Like if you don't have a supernova on the field, you're probably losing. But honestly, I don't think like the Shirosha underperformed or anything, but I think Apu might definitely be better than we have for Beji here. Interestingly enough, this is not a supernova, so keep that in mind, but just broken trigger. I'm on triple Enel. It's just like an anti-Blackbeard card, right? You need to play rush characters to be able to beat that matchup, because that matchup is not very good. But I don't think it's unlosable. But yeah, this is just to combat that. Then we have 4 Gadatsu. Not much to say. We usually like play field control at the start and really go for life afterwards. So your opponent will always have like probably like 4 or 5 life, usually 4, when you start playing the game. And then you can pop a 4 cost with this, which is nice. Frankie, not much to say about this. Just a generic good 2k counter. I'm playing double Ace. I'm not really sure about this card, to be honest, in the deck. Like, it's mostly really good because, like, sometimes your opponent keeps your face up life face up, and then you can turn one of your supernova into a blocker, which is very annoying. However, if you drop the Ace, you can gain a life, and then you have, like, a life to turn face up, which is nice. 2 Nami, just, like, serves the same purpose as Gadatsu. The full playset of Cavendish, just making this like, I think it's funny to play vanilla, but like basically it's just like a huge blocker, right, that can also restand. And this card, very good card, Basil Hawkins, Unkyo Trash, up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life. Very strong, especially like when you swing with this and you make it a blocker, like, just puts really good pressure, and just like eating away your opponent's life is just so strong, right, that basically you're usually going to be like eating away at like 3 or 4 of their life, and it's just going to be 3 or 4 cards they're going to be missing in the late game, which is crazy. We have the Searcher Luffy here, not much to say about that. We have Kid, one of the boss monsters, Treasures alive, and then also helps you cycle your hand, which is very important because sometimes you just get stuck with all these bricks in your hand, which is very annoying. To Zoro, just another rush card. Maybe there should be more in here. I really I'd have to test more against Blackbeard, to be honest, to know. And just the trigger is very strong as well, right? And then we have this X-Ray, which is very strong. It's a 2k, but you also, like, play it out semi-consistently. You can rest it, and then you can, if your life cards are less than or equal to your opponents, you can rest one of their 4 cost or less characters, so you're mostly going to be using this to rest their blockers. Then, huge misplay in deck building from me on this one. 3 lol, crazy should definitely be 4. Because again, just being able to recover life in this deck is so important. It's searchable, you can turn into a 9k blocker on your 7-ton turn, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, it definitely should be 4 of it in there. Let's just sort it out as well. I would probably, to be honest, like cut this card entirely, probably. To be honest, I don't think it's that good. I played the 0 cost event. I know like a lot of lists are not playing this, but I just get stuck with all these bricks in my hand so often. I was like, no, I have to do something about it. So that basically makes the deck like 14 2Ks, which is a lot, but I think is honestly pretty strong in this deck. And I was playing 2 of this Den Punk, the electromagnetic cannon. It allows you to like reshuffle your life, so it sort of serves the same purpose as Ace in that one, and then you can KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, so just like spot removal, which is always good. But honestly, I don't really think this card ever came up in any of my testing, so might as well cut this down and play like a Zoro instead or something like that. That's probably better, to be honest. But yeah, that's the deck list I've been playing for the test games I'm gonna be showing you. Only I was playing 3 LOL, which is horrible. Don't do this. Play 4 LOL, please. Yeah, so let's just do the games in the order of Bonney, Purple, Luffy, and Enel. Without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so the first game is gonna be against Bonney, as you can see here, which I do consider to be probably one of the best decks in the upcoming format. Probably, like, you never know how the format shapes up, right? So I thought it'd be interesting to show this matchup. We are, of course, on Kit here, because this video is about Kit, right? So he starts off by playing a Bonney. I won the Dairo, I'm pretty sure, so I went second. Veggie Life super strong in this game state. He, for some reason, like, he doesn't use the Surge Bonney, but it's probably because he doesn't want me to run it over, and yeah, it's like some other plan for it. I'm not sure, to be honest. So I play the Basil Hawkins here. So here I'm thinking, like, what do I want to discard? I opt to go for 2k so I can keep... you saw me not swing, and here I'm gonna go play out the Godotsu to pop the Smoker. Huge tempo swing, obviously. And I'm just gonna be passing turn here. I don't want to give him any cards. As you can see, he goes Hody, so there goes my game plan, I guess, in some way. We know the Dempunk triggers on top. And the Dempunk's actually very strong in this specific matchup, right? Because it deals with cards like Smoker, Cavendish, Carrot, even. So I use the trigger here, because the Dempunk's not gonna come in handy on the next turn, right? And also, that means that I will be able to make my Kid a blocker in this case, or like maybe the Cavendish that I had before. Again, I'm just not going to be swinging. I opt to make a blocker out of the Cavendish here because I want to use the ability. Really, in this game, I'm really going hard on not giving my opponents any cards strategy, which honestly, it's something I was trying, which might not be the way. Against Bonney, I think it's pretty strong though, because like the deck's pretty slow, but against more aggro-ish decks, you should probably be swinging, because you can get to weird game states. He drops a Zoro here, which is... That's a card, right? So I trash the top life. And the thing is, I do have a lot of counter in hand here, and I will be able to make one of my guys into a blocker. And I'm just thinking, like, this is probably the time to start swinging. Because, like, I can probably survive next turn, depending on what he does. But... Oh, right. So, what I do here is I do not swing for the last life because I plan to turn my Hawkins into a blocker, so the Hawkins can eat the last life, basically. It's been a while since I played this game, so didn't even really remember, but yeah, that seems solid, right? And then we see the top card, which is a 2k, which is like a double-edged sword, basically, being able to see your top life, because your opponent also gets to see your top life, so they also get the information, but you also get the information. I guess, honestly, it's more important for your opponent to know what your life is if you're playing against a yellow deck than it is for you to know what your life is when you're playing a yellow deck, I think. So it probably, like, the benefit you get from it is not as good as, like, the downside. But my opponent really thinking here, like, he's probably thinking, like, do I have to go for game, or is there some way to control the game? He actually finally opts to use the Bonney here. I think it's the first time in the entire game he used the Bonney effect. He picks up a pool, the 2k. Like from all the way back from Structure Deck 2. I'm just chilling. I have so much counter in hand. He goes swing 5. I think I have to counter this. Probably. Because if I take this, he can just go very big swing. I drop the Cavendish because I want to keep the Nami in hand. I think so, yeah. He goes 9. I take this. I have so much counter in hand, so much. He goes 9 again. Now I probably have to think like... Oh, I get a Zoro. I probably calculated that I would survive the turn if he tried to push for game. I would assume so. Not entirely sure, to be honest. We'll see, I guess. Would it be? You can go like 9 again with Zoro. 2k, 2k, 1k. And then you could go potentially... What is it, 12 with Hody? 2k, 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 2k. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I would live, I'm pretty sure. Are we gonna see it, actually? We might. Road to the 1k. Alright. So we go X-Drake, rest one of them. Drake rests one of them, and now we're just gonna go mega super big swing with the kid. He rests the other kid. Big thing here. But he has to counter, right? So he has it, but now we know it's guaranteed game because we can do 5 twice. And bam, there you go. We beat Bonney. Honestly, not sure if this is like the way to play against Bonney with really like the extreme starving. But I think it worked pretty well here. Oh, we also had so many 2Ks, but he dropped the Zoro. Like, the Zoro's scary, but this deck sets up defense right. We didn't have a heal, but that was fine. The kid really put in work. So yeah, that's the game against Bonney. Let's hop into the game against Purple Luffy. Alright, hopping into the game against Purple Luffy here. So I want the dire roll up to go first. Again, I think like Pluffy is one of those decks where you literally always pick to go first, right? Because their curve is so much stronger when they go first. I would honestly say like it loses like, I don't know, 40% of its strength when they were forced to go second. Don't have a play on 3. I probably should have actually swung here. Oh no, I didn't because I wanted to keep the Datsu alive to pop a potential Zoro Juro, I think. Which I get rewarded for now, because like potentially if I go swing, he takes it and he takes another life, then the Gadatsu doesn't do anything anymore and my turn becomes super mid. Of course, if he did play out the Sangoro here, that would have been a little bit problematic, but luckily he didn't. So that's good for us. And now I decide to start swinging because Purple Luffy, they are basically forced to keep discarding their cards when you're attacking, because they're going to be taking life and they really can't afford to be taking free hits. Here I do have the Nami to answer the Sangoro, which is very good. Swinging 5 with Kid, swinging 6 with Gadatsu, and then probably go Nami, play out Shirahoshi, I would imagine. Thinking what I want to trash here, I go for the Frankie. Yeah, I don't want to give him the extra draw. Can't use the Kid quite yet, but next turn we will be able to drop our big Kid, which is going to be very nice. And eat another life. So I can go like, I can protect the Gadatsu if I want to, but it's not very good, right? Go 7, I take. Now we're able to pressure him a little bit, go 5-5, play Kid, and then we also have a huge blocker, which is very nice. Could also go 6, I have to go 5. Pick up a Zoro, not what you want to be seeing. But we can cycle it with the Kid, right, which is very nice. The Kid being able to cycle is so good for this deck. I think it's funny there is the option to not trash your opponent's life, like, why would you want to do that? We turn the Kid into a huge 9k blocker, feels very, very good. Honestly, like, I'm torn about this deck. Like, it feels so good, and extra, I just watched, like, a feature match at the regional in Munich, where this deck got top 8. And this guy was piloting it so well, and the deck seemed so good in his hands. But when I'm playing it, I don't know, I just don't feel it or something. I'm not sure. We can afford to take the hit here, by the way, because we know we're gonna be dropping the law. So that's fine. That's why I used the early block with the Kid here to not lose out on the card. He also plays out a blocker. Top deck ace, very strong actually. Better than the law even, I would say. Yeah, I think I'm probably also going to be playing the ace instead of the law here, which makes sense. They kind of serve the same purpose, but ace is just strictly better because there's rush. Play out ace, gain 1 life, swing, and now we will be able to turn the Kid into a blocker once again. And he actually doesn't have the giant here, which is huge. Pick up another law. Yeah, we don't want that. We just want more counter, more counters, more better. And now we're just like in a super good position. Like, the best thing he can do is probably play Big Mom, I think. We have just so much counter, right? Like, it's not threatening at all. And now, yeah, I can just do this. And even if he, like, he could go, like, try to end the game with the, so I up to counter here. Keeps up 3 open top, but, like, he probably doesn't have giant, right? So it's probably just in case he draws giant. So what I do here is I play out the law, because I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna die anyway next turn. Like, I'm not forced to go for a game, so I can just play it slow, basically. Go for a 7 swing here. I hope he has to burn a giant on the 7k swing, which he does. Which is something A lot of people don't realize actually, but going like 7 is, when you go for games, actually better than going for 9 and make them burn 2 cards in a lot of scenarios. I can't really go too in depth about it, but keep that in mind. Think about it. Think about it. It's true. And now he has to go for game, and basically all his attacks have to hit. Yeah, and that's just gonna be it, right? Like, technically not all his attacks have to hit, because he also has like the 2k lull, but it's just not really feasible for him to win the game with that card, right? I have the 9k blocker, so just very, very commanding position. This matchup feels very good, to be honest. Yeah, so for now, Kid looking pretty decent, but now we're gonna be taking a look at the Enel game, and yeah, let's find out. Alright, going into the last game here, we're up against Enel. I do realize this is not like a super meta matchup. I really don't expect you to be playing a lot of Enel in the coming format, but I just thought it'd be funny to show like the yellow mirror, essentially. Also, I played this game horribly bad, I think. Yeah, I'm not playing this game very well. Because basically I'm using like the trash life cards too early on, as you're gonna be seeing, and I really should be using those only when he's on his last life. Now I'm just helping him get to his game plan, essentially, which is, yeah, that's just not something you want to be doing, right? As you can be seeing here, like, it does eat the veggie, I guess, which is good, but yeah, definitely misplaying. But honestly, like, I don't think the game would go any different if I played it out correctly. Like, maybe, I'm not sure. I don't think so. There are some cool things you can do, like if you make, in the late game, if he has 1 life, if you make this guy a blocker, essentially he can't attack, right? Because when he attacks, I'm gonna trash the last life, and the Enel affects only your opponent's turn. So then they suddenly actually have 0 life and they can't recover, which is funny. But yeah. There's just not much to say about this game. This guy's just going to do the tried and true strategy of doing nothing and then making his entire field like 5 enormous drops, and then I will lose. I can't even do the lull here because I have no supernova in my hand, just a Frank and the Veggie, and again the Veggie is not a supernova. Very high impact play here, playing the Gadatsu to KO his Kuzan. Oh. Yeah, just there's not even that much I can say. I'm not even sure if you would consider this funny at all. I do think it's kind of funny. Gadatsu popping the 5 cost there. Good stuff. There's just nothing I can do. Like, honestly, I'm not even sure, like, if I used another strategy this game, is there a way for me to win? I don't think so. I probably should just aggro him and then try to like eat his life with the trash effects. But yeah, this is just happening. Like, what can you do, right? I'm also just hoping I draw like something, but no, I'm not drawing something. Like, honestly, what I'm gonna do? Okay, very strong heal 1, turn this guy into a blocker. Extremely powerful. Okay, so I'm gonna try to eat away at the Enel there. Yeah. He's playing the brown, that's funny. It's basically just a good card against Blackbeard, because you can bottom deck their stage. But honestly, since Blackbeard is now pretty much they're all running like a bunch of Shiryu, the card just inherently becomes less good. But I do think it's a very interesting tech in Enel, opposed to the Lucy that a lot of people were playing to combat Blackbeard as well. I do realize I'm not really talking about the Kid game going on here, but just getting my face beat in, basically, right? So, yeah. That Hawkins is doing a lot of work getting triggers out of life, though, but yeah, now you can just go swing infinite, right? And we lose. We lose. Enel, better yellow deck confirmed. Truth be told, I do think Enel is maybe better positioned than Kid is. I'm not 100% sure. I'm also by no means like a Kid master or anything. I didn't play this game very well. I just wanted to showcase it for funsies. But yeah, that is the video of Yellow Kid. Do with it what you want. I do think this deck is very interesting. I want to test it further. Be sure to let me know your opinion of like Kid's place in the meta and about like a deck list you would be running. Super excited to hear that. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and if you do, I will see you in the next one, which is gonna be Caesar Clown probably, which I'm actually very excited about. So, yep, bye.